Hey guys, it's Alexis with Create Your Future. I am back today with a new video, and today some tips and tricks and just some reiteration of important information about how you create your reality, how you can recreate anybody and everything, and just some general ideas and concepts to go over today. Before I get started, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Please hit the bell icon in the box below and you get notified every time that we post new videos. And also in that description box is my information about my courses, booking one-on-one with me, etc. All right, so I think in the dawning of a new year, I'm filming this at the end of 2020. Let's go over what is a mental diet, because I get asked a lot from new clients, and I even get asked a lot sometimes from continuing clients like, am I on my mental diet, Alexis? What is the mental diet? How do I affirm? How often do I affirm? And lots of questions. So today's kind of like a frequently asked questions video. And I'm also just going over just the general concepts of manifesting and how your outer world mirrors that which you have within you. Okay. So, my background is in clinical hypnotherapy. So I always look at this from a fairly scientific perspective on the subconscious mind versus the conscious mind, and how that enacts the concept that Neville Goddard terms, which is everyone is you pushed out, and how you influence your reality. Okay, so today, as a prop, I am going to use this nail oil. I have this on my desk, and let's think that your whole being, okay, is this nail bottle, and that your subconscious mind is the entirety of the bottle. This is your conscious mind, and that your conscious mind feeds information to your subconscious mind, and then your subconscious mind is a feedback loop back to your conscious thinking, and that this pushes out into your reality. Okay, so your subconscious mind is kind of like the secret keeper. It's the gatekeeper. It holds all the information in it of the past, of what's happened before. Some say that from the moment of your conception until now, it remembers. It doesn't really matter, you guys, though. I am just saying this is kind of like clearing up the am I doing it right kind of thinking. Am I doing this right kind of question, to shed some light on, yes, you're doing it right as long as you say you're doing it right. Okay. But what we're working with here is your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, through using your conscious thinking, impressing new ideas, new concepts, new decisions, new meaning on your subconscious mind, and then it pushes out into your reality. So you see, what's always happened is you've been doing this. You have had something in your physical reality happen. Like, let's say it's a positive, like, Alexis, you're really good at dance, because once a dancer, always a dancer. I was a modern dancer. I did hip hop, ballet. Little fun fact. Okay. So like, let's say that I heard from my environment, Alexis, you're a really good dancer. And then I would think I'm a really good dancer. So my subconscious, because I thought it, I heard it, it impresses it, it takes it in. I begin to have a subconscious assumption, belief system that I am a good dancer. So like in my reality, what happened the other day, my husband and my son and I were having like a impromptu dance party. My son, if you haven't heard of my videos, at this point, he is about 7 months old. So I'm often dancing with him, putting on songs, we're doing like baby dance, etc. And my husband said to me, oh my gosh, Alexis, Logan is totally getting your dance moves. He has your dance gene. He has your dance, whatever. Like, and I do not have a dance gene. My family is not a family of dancers. Nobody can really dance in my family besides me, I suppose. Right. But like, I've not really thought about that for a long time. And I thought, oh, interesting. So that assumption of myself, I'm here dancing with my son. It's still pushing out into my reality, even though I'm not currently dancing at this time in my life, right? I'm not like engaging in adult dance classes. I'm no longer teaching adult dance, things like that, right? So I thought, oh, interesting. So I haven't really had any experiences that I've even worked with that in a while. So it stayed the same because I never thought to change it, because it's a positive assumption, you see? So we do this all the time, you guys. You have something happen in your reality, you give it label, you give it meaning, your mind hears it, it reiterates more of the same, it solidifies it into fact, and then you get more of it. There is a constant feedback loop always happening in our reality. There always has been. We just didn't know to intersect it, to create what we want, and to be in charge of our belief systems and in charge of our assumptions before we did this whole thing, right? So it's really important to differentiate, Alexis, what are my blocks? What am I doing this right? Is the biggest question that I get asked from continuing clients and new clients. Am I doing this right? And my answer is, your idea that you're not doing it right comes from not believing you're the creator of your reality. Yes. Not believing that your thoughts create. Yes. But it really more comes from questioning and doubting yourself and how good you think you are at doing it right, how good you think you are at doing things. So keep it simple on yourself, though. When you hear yourself think the thought, am I doing this right? We want you to say right away, I got this. I'm doing this right. I am so good at monitoring my thinking. The mental diet is easy for me. Okay. So common question number 2, what is the mental diet? Is it different than inner conversations? How do I know that I'm doing the mental diet right? Well, inner conversations, like thinking of a conversation on purpose with your specific person from within, is the same as doing intentions, in my humble opinion. Some people have an easier time with inner conversations and enacting those throughout the day. Some people have an easier time with just doing, affirming, thinking thoughts on purpose, and doing a general mental diet. It's all the same. Everybody exists within you. Your reality from within you is not separate from you. So you're creating it from within all the time. It just appears to be separate outside of you. I've gone into that in other videos. Okay. But for the purpose of what is the mental diet? The mental diet is the thoughts that you're thinking on purpose throughout the day. And you know that you're doing it right if you're thinking of thoughts that you want, which are of the reality of your choosing, which are of the relationship of your choosing, that are of the self-concept of your choosing, that you are in conscious control over. Okay. So that's what the mental diet is. The mental diet is not this. It is not, I get up in the morning, I write my affirmations, right? I say in my car, I am amazing. I am loved. SP loves me. And then you go about your business. You let your mind wander. You think, does he like me? Is he thinking about me? He hasn't called me. He obviously isn't into me. He's never thinking about me. This isn't working out. This whole thing is going down in flames. It's happening again. No. That whole thing that I just said is a mental diet, but it's not a mental diet of your choosing. To keep it simple, you're always on some kind of mental diet. There's always thought forms that are circling in your mind. We just want enough of those to be dominant about what you want to get your reality to shift and change. Because you think about it differently, your subconscious overhears it differently, and you push out a different reality, a different version. You influence your reality differently vis-a-vis being in control of what you're thinking. Now, when I tell people the mental diet idea, like, okay, let's think this instead. Then what I usually hear is this, like, let's pretend that your SP never calls you. You want them to call you. And that's the goal. Okay. So my solution is, okay, let's be thinking they're always calling. My phone is ringing off the hook. They're always FaceTiming me. They're always leaving me voicemails. They're always WhatsApping me. They're always texting me. They're always like wondering where I am. They're always wanting to talk to me. Okay. Usually the client will say, but Alexis, he's never done that. But Alexis, like, I don't know. He's not a good communicator. Okay. So then right away, we want to be thinking, okay, he's a great communicator. He is this, he is that. They are this, they are that, right? He or they like being on the phone. He or they like texting. He or they like communicating, right? Because the more that you think that they're not a good communicator, the more that they aren't a bad communicator, you see, the more that you think it's not working out, the more it's not working out. The more that you entertain thoughts that they're not calling, they're not calling. So keep it simple on yourself. You're always on some kind of mental diet. We just want it to now be the mental diet of what you want. When your mind tries to talk you out of it, those are what we would say are your blocks, even though we also want to decide we have no blocks. Again, keeping it simple, right? The process of really thinking thoughts on purpose of what you want is actually very simple. It's very easy. It's so simple that people want to like research and go out and find and fact find, law of assumption, thoughts create, this whole thing. You don't got to do any of that. All you have to do is persistent thoughts of what you want long enough for your reality to change. But the culmination, if you're working on what a lot of people are on this channel, is working on manifesting a specific person. You have created them. If you want them to call you, we have to be deciding that they're a good communicator, you see, or else the communication, that they're not a good communicator, it blocks the whole thing, right? Like if you were, let's say my client calendar was totally booked as Alexis, and you wanted to book a session with me, but you had an assumption that I'm always booked. You'd have to be working on the assumption that I'm always booked and changing that, saying like, oh, she's open, she's available for me. She has a session for me at my time. She's got more than enough openings for me. Alexis always makes time for me in order for you to get a spot on my client calendar. It's all the same. So your mental diet though, are what are the thoughts that you're thinking? What are we generating? You're doing it right as long as you say you're doing it right. You have no blocks as long as you insist and you decide you have no blocks. Whatever comes in your mind that tries to like talk you out of your mental diet or your new thoughts, we just don't want to give into it, you guys. It's the fear, it's the worry, it's the anxiety, it's the frenetic stuff that your mind has done for so many things over and over again. But this time you want to take ownership of, I want this way. I am deciding this is happening this way. So I'm going to keep on thinking it's happening this way. I'm going to keep on sending my thoughts out there. I'm going to keep on deciding and thinking because I am the operant power. This is my reality. I'm the only thinker in this reality. Okay. So let's see, going back to commonly asked questions, frequently asked questions is, how often do I have to say my mental diet for this to happen? How often, right? Was there a magic formula? And my answer, you guys, is no, there's not, because everyone is different. Everyone's situation is different. But how about you look at what you're thinking, like either morning, afternoon, and night, and you think about new thoughts then to get it to change, or it's once an hour. But we really, 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 really have to change the story. You change the story through thinking new thoughts. You change the story through rewriting who you are, rewriting who the SP is, and then sticking to it. So no matter what happens out here, you got to stick to the new story. You have to stick to the new thoughts. So there isn't like one way to do this. There isn't like a cookie cutter, you know, at the beginning of the hour, at the end of the hour. I say that sometimes because it helps soothe people's anxiety about the SP, but you don't even need to have such a finite process. But what you do need to be embodying and be owning and be really resonating with is that you are the operant power. You are in control of your thoughts. You are safe and secure and stable to do so. You are amazing, and that this is your reality. It's nobody else's reality. There's only one you looking through your eyes. So even more important than doing all these affirmations is really knowing what's going on here. When you know what's going on here, it's a lot easier to manifest something to change because you have belief in the concepts of what the reality, what the fabrics of our reality are. It's not like this, I'm doing a bunch of affirmations thing. No, we are creating thoughts on purpose because your thoughts create. Your thoughts create, your thoughts create, your thoughts create, your thoughts influence people, places, and things outside of you and your reality. All right. So those are the most common questions that I've gotten asked recently, that I get asked in general about the manifestation process. And I hope that that clears up questions that you have in your own mind, you guys. So you guys, you're doing it right. Tell yourself you're doing it right. Tell yourself you have no blocks. Tell yourself you've got this. Tell yourself that you're persisting. Tell yourself that you're on track. Really be your best friend with this. You're the only thinker in your mind. You're the only thinker in your reality. And you can have, be, or do anything of your choosing. All right, you guys. So I hope that you found this video useful and that it helped clear up some things. And I will see you on my next one. Have a great day. Bye.